Good afternoon, friends. Today we're talking about what makes a good prayer companion. Companioning work is different than a lot of the kinds of spiritual ministry work that happens in the life of the church because it's a peer-to-peer experience. In other forms of work, like being a pastor and having a one-way caregiving relationship, or being a spiritual director, being someone who's specifically charged with listening to and interpreting what's going on with somebody else's spiritual practice and journey. Being a companion is about mutual sharing, mutual listening, and encouraging one another in our life of prayer. Companion work is a powerful way to grow in faith because it's an opportunity to talk with someone else about what's happening in your life, what kinds of activities are bringing meaning and joy, where you feel God's presence, and also what you feel needs to be lifted in prayer, whether that's prayers of thanksgiving and joy, or the kinds of prayers where we cry out to God and ask for assistance. In either case, prayer companions share in alternating form, first one taking the role of the listener, the other of the sharer, and then about halfway through their conversation switching that up, so that by the time the conversation's over, both people, or in cases where it's a small group, everyone has had an opportunity to share and to listen, to ask for prayer and to be prayed for. And in this, we become mutual companions in our walk together in Christ. Being a companion is not about having just a social conversation with somebody. There's plenty of time in other conversations to talk about things like how's the weather? Did you see the game last night? What do you think about the end of the season? Do you think we'll have a lot of skiers this year? Now, being a companion means taking time to share about things that provide meaning. Some framing questions that can be helpful in terms of getting our sharing off the ground are things along the lines of, what brought you challenge this week? What brought you joy? Where did you notice God feeling close? Where did you notice God feeling far away? Are you reading part of the Bible? What did you read today? How did it strike you? These kinds of questions help us get at some of the more core spiritual concerns that may be going on in a person's life, and in so doing, give us the opportunity to then listen, affirm, value what they've said, and also to be able to lift those things up in prayer, both in the context of that meeting, but also in an ongoing way until you connect again. And this cycle of listening, praying now, and praying in an ongoing way allows us to build up a sense of trust and reliability between partners. When it's time to switch, there's real value in, if you're the listener, thanking the sharer for what they've shared. And if you're the sharer, thanking the listener for paying attention. Taking time to be grateful for one another is one of the ways that companions can strengthen their relationship, and also can begin to build a sense of trust that there's not anything that they need to hold back or some question about God that's too challenging. The point of these conversations is not to answer all of the questions, but rather to hear one another carefully, to be heard, and to know that all of these things are being held in God's love. I hope that these basic principles help you to get started with your prayer ministry as you walk together with your companion, and I hope that they give you a sense of the kinds of work that companions can do and how that fits into the broader array of speaking and listening type relationships that we have in the life of the church. Perhaps you'll develop a great friendship, but I hope most importantly that the two of you, or the small group of you, begin to deepen your relationship with God as you continually include the Holy One as one of the conversation partners in your most important conversations. Have a great week, and God bless.